Welcome to my channel, Budget Nerd. Here you can expect to see how-tos, reviews, and other things tech, networking, gadgets, PCs, and even some RC. In today's video though, we'll be checking out the brighter 1500 lumen Sengled smart bulbs and Sengled's new RGB smart light strip. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, Sengled sent these over for review and we'll pick them apart as usual. I'll tell you if I love them, hate them, or if they're eh. Check out the description or skip to the time on the screen now if you just want to check out the light strip. If not, let's start with the smart bulbs. If you check out my other videos, you may recall the Smart Home Tech 101 video I did, where Sengled sent over some 800 lumen smart bulbs, among other things. Check out that video if you're interested, link below. But if you want the quick version, I like them. However, people did ask for a brighter version and Sengled delivered. This is a 1500 lumen bulb and is equivalent to a 100 watt incandescent bulb, or old school bulb if you will. So plenty of light. When released, Sengled said these bulbs were the first 100 watt equivalent LED smart bulb on the market. But depending on when you watch this, that may or may not be the case any longer. They are Zigbee smart bulbs, so both need a hub to play nice on your network. These bulbs come in two color flavors, soft white and daylight. The soft white version is closest to the color of an old school light bulb. In the box is pretty much just some paper and the bulb, so no point in spending much time there. The bulbs look familiar, except for this little bit of color on the bottom and this thing on top. LED bulbs generate very little heat, especially compared to old school bulbs, but there is no doubt this bulb will generate more heat than their dimmer bulbs, so this might just be here to vent heat, but it's just an assumption though. It also does mean that there isn't any direct light given off from the top of the bulb, but it doesn't seem to make too much of a difference. Downloading the app and setting it up is easy. I've shown this in several other videos, so if you're interested in the process, check out some of those. The bulbs were great and are easy to control with Alexa, Google Home, or from the app. Within the app, you get the added option of dimming the bulb or setting a schedule. I'm happy to report that my Sengled setup has been working great, and the only issue I've had was corrected by resetting the hub. Having the extra light out of one bulb is great and is perfect for those single bulb fixtures. At the time of this video, they come in at $20 to $22 a bulb, which makes them competitive with other bulbs that are similar. This may change with time, but my guess is it will take some time for other bulbs to really give Sengled a run for their money in the 100 watt equivalent smart bulb market. The long and the short of it is I totally recommend them. Now, onto the light strip. They sent over a main base light strip, which is 6 feet long, as well as an extension that adds another 3 feet and can be plugged in to the end of a 6-foot strip or into the end of another extension. I'm sure there's a limit to how many you could chain together though. The main light strip comes in at $40, which isn't the cheapest out there, but is still very competitive. And if you already have a Sengled setup, the price isn't bad. The extension, which does require a power cable assembly that comes with the base light strip to work, costs $22. The base comes with the power adapter and the control button part all connected to one cable assembly. This can't be powered by USB or anything like that. You'll need a power outlet. It's not a major deal, but if you want to light up something that doesn't have a power outlet nearby, then you might be hosed. The light strip seems pretty durable, and the top seems to be covered in some sort of clear, flexible resin. It would bend up and down wonderfully, but it won't bend right or left at all. Once again, depending on what you're trying to light up, may or may not be an issue for you. Here are some pictures where different LEDs on the strip are lit up in different ways to achieve the color you're after, and it does get pretty bright when you select a color that uses a lot of them. To help stick this light strip where you want it, there is adhesive already stuck to the back, which is nice. The button allows you to turn it on or off, and if you hold the button, it cycles through lots of different colors. You could use it this way, or you could install the Sengled app and set it up. The app gives you the options of turning it off or on, changing the brightness, changing the color, and setting a schedule. You can also control it with your favorite voice assistant. I'm sure that's not a surprise. If you're after a light strip shorter than 6 feet, you can cut the light strip at certain sections to make it closer to the length you want, but keep in mind once you cut it, you can't add to the length. So other than the clumsy power cable and the connector on the strip that seem to come a tiny bit loose sometimes, I like the light strip, it's fun. So I tried to come up with some cool ideas of places to put it. So let's review all 15 of my ideas I came up with in order of coolness, according to me, of course. Starting with the least cool. Comment below and tell me which is your favorite spot or spots. Alright, starting with 15. I put the light strip on the piano and under it. It was neat, but I wasn't really feeling it. Next, I put the light strip under the coffee table. This will get questions out of any visitor, but I wasn't wanting a power cable going across the floor. I put the light strip around my daughter's mirror. It was a proof of concept, and if I'd planned on leaving it there, I would have wrapped it all the way around, and man, it could have looked better. I tried to make a letter with the light strip. If you're the creative type, you could also do shapes on the wall, but it was sort of limiting since I could only bend the light strip in certain ways. Next, I wrapped it around the spindles on my stairs. It was cool, but it reminded me of Christmas lights. Then I used it next to line the stairs. It was also neat, but it was so bright it was crazy. Even dimmed all the way, it was just a massive smack in the face. Far from the subtle light I was going for. Next, I put it under my daughter's bed. Now, this was cool. She loves pink, so I ran with it. The effect was outstanding and just added a super hard to explain effect to the room, with or without normal lights on. Next, I put the light strip behind the TV stand. Now, I had expected more out of this one, but I think if you had a stand that had more of an open back, the effect would be cooler. I wasn't sure about under the kitchen counter, but it turned out cool. As long as you picked a safe color, which I didn't, and as long as it was dim, which I didn't do, it looked like I could have given my knees a sunburn. Next, I put it under the TV stand. For my TV stand, this had a much cooler effect than behind it. This picture is really sort of dark, but the effect was cool, and perfect if you are a nerd and hosting some sort of game night, or so I'm told. We're entering the top 5, people. Places I would most likely put a strip and leave it. 5th is under the kitchen cabinets. Putting it here seemed like a no-brainer place to try it, and boy did it pay off. It made more sense to go with a subtle color instead of something crazy, but it really looked nice. 4th is on our plant shelf. Most people think of plant shelves when you think of light strips, or at least I do. My plant shelf is small and kind of strange. It would have looked better if it were longer and stretched the length of the wall, but it still added some flair to an otherwise overlooked part of our living room. Coming in at 3rd place is around the TV. No matter what it took, I had to try this, and it was better than I had hoped. It added a really fun dynamic to the room and really cemented the TV as the focal point. Plus, this was my kids' favorite location for the light strip. Number 2 is in the network rack. For this, I just used the 3 feet section. And do I need to say more? Isn't it a beautiful sight? I wasn't sure I could make the network rack in my closet any cooler, but I'm glad I was wrong. Plus, the cool lights will make your network faster. Coming in at number 1, and my favorite location for this light strip, is above my workbench in the garage. Yes, maybe not the most exotic choice I could have made, but it looks awesome. Lights up the bench so I can tinker, and at the flick of my finger, I can turn this very functional place to work into an instant statement. It's awesome for game nights or LAN parties, which I do host in the garage when it's not too hot. It's functional, nerdy, and cool all at the same time. Well, this light strip is pretty fun. If you have a Zigbee compatible hub and you want a light strip, grab one. Sengled, if you're watching, make version 2.0 have the option to cycle through colors slowly, to blink or fade in and out, that sort of stuff. That would be sweet. It's not very hard to recommend both the light strip and the bulbs, so if you want to pick any of them up, there are links below. Thanks for watching.